never reaching the end. Ooh, and I'm feeling good. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, damn guys ain't dumb. She says we gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give it all a breath.
Bon Jovi fans can stop living on a prayer. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jason Nathanson, thanks for joining us on a Wednesday morning. The new class for 2018 has been announced.
Yeah, a little Bon Jovi coming at you in the morning. All right.
Hey, it's 2 for Wednesdays here on KTRS.
That's my morning this morning. I love it, playing rock DJ. Yeah, Bon Jovi is in. They were first eligible in 2009, so it's been a couple of years that they've been eligible. Fans have been really wanting it, and that's the one I've seen on Twitter. Although I guess maybe Moody Blues fans aren't really on Twitter so much. You got more Bon Jovi fans on Twitter, but the fans on Twitter are really excited that Bon Jovi's finally getting in. And then you got I love that Nina Simone, and then you have the Dire Straits and the Cars. So, you know, a good class, you know, an 80s class, mostly dominated by the 80s there. We're not seeing any of the new guys get in, as we have in the past couple of years with Pearl Jam and Tupac and Nirvana this year. We're not seeing Radiohead was eligible this year, Rage Against the Machine, LL Cool J, none of those guys get in.
Who decides? Is it former Hall of Famers, or who decides who gets in?
The Rock and Roll Hall of People is made up of journalists, musicians, people who are in the Rock Hall. I think there's something like 800 of them who vote on it. And then they have this fan ballot where fans can vote, and Bon Jovi was the number one vote getter on the fan ballot. And then usually the fan ballot does pretty much follow with who gets in. I think in the past 6 years they've been doing it. And the only one who didn't make the fan ballot this year, or who was on the fan ballot and didn't actually make it in this year, is Judas Priest.
Oh, what's a discriminant? Come on.
Top five.
Come on.
Yeah,
What's going on out there? That's a highway robbery. All right, and all of this is going to be filmed, and then it's going to be a big HBO special sometime later on this year.
April 14th is when they actually do it, and then they're going to film it for HBO, and it's going to be in Cleveland. Sometimes it's in LA, sometimes it's in New York. I think the past couple of years it's been in Cleveland, so it'll be in Cleveland. They'll film it, and then they'll edit it and put it on HBO, which is a shame because really the unedited version is, I mean, it's long, but it's a lot of fun.
I don't know if I'm embarrassed to say or proud to say that I saw Bon Jovi open up for Rat back in the 80s. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a fantastic billing, and the fact that Bon Jovi was opening, I mean, is just great. I mean, and I'm sure Rat would love to have that kind of slot going on now. Where
how about that? I don't know if I'm embarrassed or proud of going to that concert. I don't know what I am.
Oh, I think you should be proud for sure, 100%. I think you should be proud of every concert that you've ever gone to. Never be ashamed of going to a concert. Just going.
All right, fair enough.
Going to see music is one of the great things, and it's one of the things that we do a lot when we're young and don't do as much when we're older. And so never be embarrassed about any concert you went to. I say that because I've seen New Kids on the Block in concert, and I don't want to be called out for it, but never be embarrassed.
All right, fair enough. Now, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, what do we know? What do we hear?
Okay, I've seen it, and I can tell you that it is very good. That's coming from somebody who is not a huge, I'm not diehard Star Wars. I enjoy it. I enjoyed the franchise, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. I brought a friend with me who is a huge diehard Star Wars fan. He had tears in his eyes by the end of it. He's like, when we were going to leave the theater, he's like, can we wait just for a second so nobody can see that I have tears in my eyes? So he really, really enjoyed it. There's been a lot of reviews. The review embargo broke yesterday. The consensus seems to be that it's really good. Not, amazing, but really good. And a little too long. At 2.5 hours, it's the longest Star Wars movie that has ever been made. And most people seem to like it. There are some people who don't really like it, though. Variety, the reviewer there, said that it's ultimately a disappointment. I don't agree. I think he was way too harsh. It's a Star Wars movie, and he was reviewing it like it was Schindler's List or something.
Right.
I mean, he was really going in on it.
Now, what about Carrie Fisher? Because she died. How much did they have to change it? How much is she a part of this? What's that story about?
It's my understanding that they didn't have to change anything, that her scenes and most of the shooting was already done when she died. So they didn't have to change anything for this storyline, and she is a big part of it. I'll just say that.
Oh, okay. Wow. And they didn't have to do it, so it was already in the can by the time she died.
Yeah, no, you're not going to see any weird CGI stuff or something that they spliced together from the first film, and you're like, why is she, in the donut hair in the gold bikini in this one?
Right, right.
They're not doing any of that weirdness.
All right, good. And it opens up tomorrow night?
It does, Thursday night, and I'm sure a lot of people already have their tickets. I know a lot of those early showings are sold out because those went on sale weeks ago, and the first fans are very excited to get in there. And I think it's an hour earlier. Usually they open at 7. I think some of the showings might be at 6, so you'll see.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Jason Nathanson, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.